Will federal officials pick up illegal immigrants from local authorities, or won't they? That question hit local law enforcement right after the U.S. Supreme Court affirmed the part of Senate Bill 1070 that requires local law enforcement to check immigration status if they encounter someone they suspect is here illegally. Federal officials say they will only worry about people they classify as dangerous. So what does this mean locally? Local officials are trying to get some answers, and so is Not On Your Side's Craig Smith.
Well, Guy, to fans of SB 1070, the federal decision is a backdoor way to defeat the part of the state law the Supreme Court upheld. To local law enforcement, it's a puzzle they are still trying to figure out. After the Supreme Court ruled on 1070, the other big attention getter was the announcement Homeland Security was suspending special agreements called 287G. They basically deputized local law enforcement to enforce federal immigration law. But suspending 287G may be more symbolic than anything else. Pima County Sheriff Clarence Dupnick and Santa Cruz County Sheriff Tony Estrada say they didn't use the program anyway. They just called Border Patrol. For them, the real issue is now Homeland Security says if a local agency calls, it will be more selective about when agents will come pick someone up. When we called Homeland Security, DHS Media Office simply referred us to a recorded audio briefing with someone we can only describe as an unnamed senior administration official.
We will not allow state to set our enforcement priorities.
That means even if SB 1070 leads local law enforcement to find out someone's here illegally, DHS will not always send agents to pick up that suspect.
But what we want to ensure is that ICE does not take action unless that individual also meets our existing priorities. These priorities are focused on individuals who are in the country unlawfully and are committing criminal acts outside of just immigration-related crimes. They also focus on individuals who are attempting to enter the United States through our southwest border or may have recently crossed our border, as well as those who repeatedly violate our immigration laws.
Yesterday, KGUN-9's Tammy Vo asked Sheriff Estrada what happens if deputies are holding an illegal immigrant and the agents never show.
You have to let them go. You have to let them go because there's no law that says you can arrest them.
Now, there were some fears DHS would cut off the information local law enforcement would need to confirm whether someone's in the U.S. illegally. DHS says officers will still be able to call into a phone center to check someone's records.
Even with their stand about how they plan to limit their response, does DHS think it will face some extra demands because of 1070?
Well, that unnamed official describes it as operational challenges. He says they do not feel they need to add extra people here, but there may be extra strain on that phone center, which is out of state.
Certainly. Craig, thank you. Now, many of you are upset with the High Court's ruling on SB 1070. 58% disagree with the decision, while 38% support it, another 4% undecided.